Hello, the internet, and welcome back to the live stream. It is Tuesday, the 23rd of July 2019. Today, I will be live for 53 minutes. 53 on the 23rd. That's pretty cool. 3 and 3. You know how I like numbers. This whole channel's based on numbers. You know that. I love it when numbers coincide with numbers. It gives me a joyful feeling in my heart, especially when I know so much about numbers thanks to my schooling career. I'm trying to tie this into the topic. We will get into that topic. Don't worry about that. I've got things to say about school. I got an experience to share about my schooling. Let's just say one particular teacher is the whole basis of my incident, and that's where I formed my opinion. So that when we dig into that, it'll make sense. But let's just say I'm a little bit jaded by school. But let's have a look in the chit chat. Now, I did see a Quinn Foster up in the house very early. I tried to say, you know, when Tim Arscott goes in there super early and puts a little comment in, the way you can find out if that comment's still there for everybody and if Tim's still there is by atting Tim. And I tried to at Quinn. Incidentally, it sounds like Tim, at Quinn Foster, and he wasn't there. So I came in with my hello, the internet. And then Barris Gunders came in and said, Salaman alaikum. But he didn't say anything else, so I'm not even sure if that was anything at all. What does that mean? And where are you, Barris? Travel Jet Setter in the house. Thanks, Travel Jet Setter, for jumping in. He's still storming down here. He may have to jump in and out. No worries. He doesn't want his computer to blow up. I said, you need a surge protector. He said he's in a hostel. They don't have those. You know, you can take one. I've actually got like a bar here that's got a surge protector in it. So you can kind of pick them up from, I guess you'd go to Home Depot or Walmart or something. He said he hasn't moved down there yet. Yeah, that's cool. He still has his apartment back home. He's in Fort Lauderdale, for those wondering. He's moving down there, looking for a job first. Scotty Ventures, where is your YouTube notificator? And I wondered what he was talking about when he said that, but he's actually referring to Tim. I didn't know he was the notificator for everybody. The notificator? Is that even a word? The notificator. Tim Arscott is the notificator. The notification man? I don't know. But then he came in anyway, so there's Tim. And I said, that notification. Everyone's saying hello to Tim. Talking about what cyclones are versus tropical storms. We have tropical storms in Australia. We have a band called Tropical Fuck Storm. Great band. We have cyclones, and so does Travel Jet Setter. He's had these before, so he's fine with whatever happens down there. I said it may bring in some swell to the west coast of Florida, which would be pretty nice. We need some swell here, let me tell you about it, and you'll see that in the super quick wave a day edit. Tim's come up with a golden comment there. Lucky cyclones aren't created by some huge monster as a result of eating baked beans, spicy sausages, prawns. He's even put that in shrimp for those playing in Northern Hemisphere, and drinking beer. That would stink. I said they're local storms, Tim. Yes, they are very localized, aren't they? Usually to one's own quarters. And Mindy's in the house. Hello, everyone. Everyone's saying hi to Mindy. Mindy says, I just want to say early on, my education was worth it and it was fun too, but my career only required an associate degree, so 2 years in college total, but most of the non-medical degrees aren't requiring that. Okay. Well, we'll definitely dig into that as we get closer into the discussion. I've got I don't want to blow my steam. We'll get there. Tim, you're talking about healthcare. Here in Australia, medical, legal, education and engineering, many employers have recognized that formal degrees are not that necessary if a person has the right amount of job experience. One could argue, how do you get job experience without any experience? They always say must have experience. How do you get that freaking experience if you've never had the experience? Doesn't make any sense. Mindy's making coffee earlier and thought about Tim. And Tim says, for the next 2 weeks, my youngest son is off to space camp and National Ignition Facility, nuclear experimentation in Tennessee, then Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Well, Tennessee, you say? That's me pondering. I'm not going to ask your son to bring back Jack. Forget about it. Johann Sebastian. G'day, Johann. Good to see you, man. Tim's too lazy for coffee this morning. He's having a tea instead. Everyone's saying hello to Johann. Whoa. My chat's gone haywire. There you go. Mindy would love to go there. AWF7. Hello, AWF7. Good to see you back in the chit chat. Scotty Ventures in the house. He came up earlier as well. I somehow skipped that. Scotty Ventures, good to see you here, dude. AWF7 is in Jacksonville, Florida. I need a big swell, so tropical disturbance needs to grow. Yes, I'm feeling you, man. Feeling you with the big swells. Let's pull the chat into the house so you guys can follow along as well. It's nice to see everybody playing there this early. I know every day in July is kind of, it's like a big ask. It's a big commitment to come in here, and I think someone made a comment earlier. Johan might have said, is there anybody else? And I think he's referring to, is there anybody else here watching? Now, our audience, my audience, your audience, the givers, it's kind of small, but we're here to do the right thing, have fun, have a chit chat. And if that grows, then it grows. And that's the beauty of it. But here we are doing Julive. Now, if you're not sure what Julive is, every day, the month of July, live streams on the YouTube channel, same time every day. This is a process developed by Where is Danny Black, and there is a link to Where is Danny Black's channel in the chit chat. He came up with this idea. It's his concept. I'm following suit. Mind you, the leader has disappeared and done it on Facebook instead of YouTube. So I'm here to do it on YouTube. That's my point. I'm loving here on YouTube. I've always going to be focused on YouTube. Despite the DLive love that's going on, man, DLive's really going off. But separate story altogether. Separate. Keep them separated. AWS7 says, hi, Northrop MJ. Brockneck's in the house all the way from the Alaska town of Alaska. In Alaska. Good to see you, man. How's the winter treating me? Dude, I got just the thing for you. The winter here has been fantastic. I cannot believe how beautiful the water is here in the winter. I've got my Artisan wetsuit. It's a cracker, but I do need it. But the temperature, when the sun comes out, you would think to yourself, is this freaking winter or what? It's so pleasant in that water. We just need some more swell. So if Travel Jet Center, if you can swing some of that tropical fuck storm our way, I would love to get some of that swell coming down the east coast of Australia. Happy Canadian in the house. Happy Canadian. Good to see you, Jeffrey. Scotty Ventures, my words may come out that I'm grumpy. It's just that I've given up smoking. Well, give it up to Scotty for giving up on smoking, man. I appreciate that. I've never been a smoker of the cigarette, so I can't really compare. But I understand it's an addictive process and you're going to have a hard time. But if you're doing it, then you're getting the love from me. So well done, man. Everyone's saying hello. And did I see Steve in the house? Steven, there we go. It's small. That's what she said. The swell, yeah. I see what you've done there. Do we have a second Tim in the house here? So look, I'm going to roll my super quick wave a day edit. You're going to see a small swell. You're going to see beautiful conditions. And there's a little bit of chit chat in this one because of the lack of swell. If you follow, I wanted to say a farewell to Patrick Becomes because he's pulled the pin and he's not doing... I can't work out what he's doing. Is he still going to do content on the... He's not doing daily. He's not doing surfing content, which kind of kills... I don't want to blow my steam. Super quick wave a day edit. Welcome back to the super quick wave a day edit. Now, the conditions this morning were so small. The waves were not great. But the temperature in the water and the clarity and just the vibe, it was so nice to be out there surfing, even though I didn't do great things on the surfboard. But how about you decide? I walked out and the first paddle I took was a duck dive into beautiful colored water, crystal clear, and by the way, good morning Monday. Yeah! And have a look at how clear this water is. Got the cash, you got a deal. Oh, the earth is going for a steal. That is bliss. Winter! the wave gets larger, that little right will work. Look at this freaking beautiful day. Even without a wave, this is still amazing to be out here. Life is better when you surf, like no denying that. You could sit inside saying, it's winter, the swell's not great, you know, I'll go tomorrow or I'll go the next day. Just get out, charge it to the beach, get in the water, have fun in the ocean. If you get a couple of waves, extra bonus. Oh, I just missed a wave while I'm chit-chatting.
It's a brave new world, and you reap what you deserve.
While we sit out here waiting for a bomb, we may be waiting a while, I want to just say how sad I am about Patrick Becomes pulling the pin on his content. Hold on, here's a bomb. We'll get back to Patrick. What a bomb! But Patrick Becomes decided to pull the pin. I came to really love watching his efforts there in the surf camp in Bali, and he's now, I mean, look at this little bomb. Woo! See you later, Bomsky. That might have been a ride I could have taken. I'd rather sit and talk to you about Patrick Becomes, the Swedish techno surfing Viking. Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame he's pulled the pin. I was really enjoying his content, watching him progress. Now this one. Oh, that's funny. Oh, there's blue bombs. Hang on a sec. Rain check. I just let an absolute banging wave go by. Maybe the message here is less chitter-chat, more surfing. I want to talk to you about Patrick! So yeah, look, I'm upset, but I understand. Daily content, surfing content's not for everybody. I mean, I only do it for 1 month every season, and then it's just my social surfing. There's so many bombs coming through. Look at this guy. Bombing. Woo! Whoa! Patrick, if you're watching, just know you're going to be missed, man. And I know you said you wanted to do more artistic film presentations and whatnot. I hope that can include the surfing. My advice to you, man, would be to get some kind of beach camera going, even if it means like paying a local to sit on the beach and mind your gear. Ooh, bombs aplenty, as Ben Gravy would say. That's fully nuking! I don't know what that term means, but I get the vibe, right? Alright, how about we go surfing instead of chit-chatting? Patrick, best of luck, dude.
Is going for a steal. You better run to get the sail.
Pleasant in the water here. That's my 7S Superfish version 4 from Global Surf Industries. I just kissed the side of it. It's that nice of a board. Catch more waves. That's the slogan. Look at it. What a beauty.
Did I mention, if you want to get your own, check the description field of this video, where you may find a link, and you'd be helping me. Oh, I should have taken this. What a beautiful wave. Whoa! Yeah, you'd be helping me, is what I was trying to say then, before that beautiful wave came through. You'd also be getting a fantastic board. This guy, man, I'm in love. That was a fun little left-hander. That's how you squeeze, milk. What was the saying from yesterday? I milked that wave. Squeeze, teat, milk, enjoy. That wave had more power, right? I didn't do too well on it, but you know me. I'll be back here tomorrow. And now, while I go and have a warm shower because it has gotten cold, you guys can go back to the live stream. Yeah, Kakyo. Oh, you're on a live stream. Get back with the program. I was just doing some calculating. That's not a super quick wave a day edit. That's a super slow, lengthy, drawn out wave a day edit. Let me just clarify. The reason it's called a super quick wave a day edit is because I put it out there super quick. It's not the actual package is meant to be like fast and snappy. It's the fact that it gets out there quick. So on the D-Live, I rolled that yesterday. So the D-Live gets it the day that it happens. The YouTube stream gets it in the morning, and then the actual vlog drops in the evening. That's why it's called super quick. I realized that was like a 9-minute package, so it's not super quick if you're thinking of it that way. That's just my thoughts where I was going, and I wasn't calculating. I was actually swiping on Tinder. Just being honest. In the chit chat, what did we miss there as that was rolling? Brockneck says, I'll go outside and throw a rock in the Pacific, and when it gets to you, it'll be a massive wave. Dude, if that's how it worked, I would literally tell you, okay, go out on Tuesday the 17th at 1:26 a.m. and wobble a board in the water, and then by Wednesday morning, it'll be here. I'd love that, man. That's how waves work, though, don't they? They start off with nothing, and they build up, and as the seabed gets closer to the surface, the wave starts to form. And then you get kooks like me that try to ride them. Scotty Ventures, so damn hard though. Danny Black, I always tune right at the surf videos. Yeah, good tuning, man. That shot going onto the wave. Yeah, I can't believe how... I don't think it was this clear in the summer. I'm going to be honest. Like, if you've seen my summer waiver days, the water wasn't this clear, was it? It seems like it's
It's way clearer right now. It could also be the angel of the sun and how that comes around. That gives it that better clarity. I don't know, but it looks so nice out there. And I guess that's why I didn't mind that one went on for some time. Got a lot of underwater shots and stuff. I really want to see a dolphin come in at that close. That would be so sick. And Scotty Ventures says, if that's our winter, imagine what our summer's going to be like. Yeah, man. I mean, we could be in for a scorcher, dude. An absolute scorcher. Everyone's saying hello to Danny. And AWF says the water is clear. It's brown in Jackson, Florida. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we got clear water here, man. We're very lucky. I've seen the Florida waters. I've seen Juke Squad. Mind you, Juke Squad goes to like a little inland river, which is as clear as this, but his ocean isn't this clear. So you got that to think about. Where he does the jumping off the trees into the water, and they've got those manatees, that water's clear. Danny says, I can't stay long, got to take the dog to get vaccinated. No worries. Oh, that's Whiskey, his pet dog Whiskey. No problem. Travel Jet said, AWF, yeah, I'm in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale. It is clear. Okay. Sorry, that's Travel Jet said. AWF 7 has bought a 5.8 Global Surf Industries double down wave. Very easy to maneuver and catch waves. I hope you used my link for a discount. Is it a discount? It's not a discount. Forget that. It's an affiliate link. Doesn't get... No, the Arzen gets a discount. If you're looking for a wetsuit, you've already got it. Well done, man. I'm hoping you can put some vlog content together. Tim comes in with a daily obscure fact. Hackers have broken into Russian intelligence agency's mass surveillance program. Personally, I'd find it funny if they deleted the entire program's data. That'd be pretty cool. Or at least backed it up somewhere first and then deleted it. Wow, says Paula. Says Northrump. Paula Erdberg, greetings from Berlin. Guten Tag? Time. Hey Siri, what time is it in Berlin?
It's 1:22 in Berlin, Germany.
Guten Morgen, 1:22 in the morning. Schlaf gut. Have a good sleep. What are you doing? Get back to bed. Everyone's saying hello to Paula. Hey, Duck Hunter. Someone new to the chat. Duck Hunter. Here comes a cheers. Duck Hunter. Hello. How are you? Welcome to the Gives a Minute YouTube stream. Haven't seen you in here. Hello, Ducky. Hi, Ducky. Nice one. Very sleepy. Everyone annoying auto spell checker. Say some more smart stuff. Yes, for dolphins. A band. Look, Life as Mose. Life as Mose. There's a new name in the chat. Life as Mose coming in for a cheers for you, man. Woo! Or woman. That's a cheers for you too. If I see someone new in my chit chat, I will cheers them. The thing on DLive is anyone that comes in gets a cheers, but here on the YouTube, we'll try to keep it a little bit, Manatees are the Gulf side of Florida on the west coast. Yeah, but they come into the rivers, and when Juke Squad does his jumping off the trees, he goes under the water and shows you the manatees, and the water is as clear as this Culburra beach. Adrian Banks in the house. Hi, Adrian. And thanks for the follow on the DLive too, Adrian. Good to see you over there, man. Everyone's happily talking. Now, speaking of Juke Squad, this kind of ties in together nicely. You know, does everybody know who Juke Squad is and his brother Tfue? You may have heard of his brother recently, right? So his brother has quickly become the biggest online gamer, far, far, far surpassing the likes of Ninja and probably not PewDiePie, because PewDiePie's YouTube as well. But so you've heard of Tfue, right? Oh yeah, Ben on the D. Yeah, okay. Life as Mose has heard of Tfue and Juke Squad. The Juke Squad and Tfue are brothers. Their father is a guy by the name of, and I'm not going to say it here because YouTube has a habit of making these unsuitable for advertising. Even if I say the word, his name's Richard, but his real name, or what they call him, is what people call Richard. I'm gonna say, I feel a little bit sick, and you know what I'm saying with what his name is. And he went on the Concrete podcast talking in a roundabout way. He was talking about the drama that's kind of unfolding with his son Tfue. Now, so I don't want to dig into the drama as such because it's pointless, but for the sake of the conversation, the drama was talking about how his son signed a contract with FaZe Clan to be gaming for the FaZe Clan, but the contract was pretty dubious, and now they're trying to get out of the contract, like legally get out of it when they've signed a legally binding contract. Anyway, the conversation on the internet has been, why would you let your son sign a lousy contract like that in the first place? And the father's like, hey, look, it's my son. He can do what he damn well pleases. I'm not going to guide him in that sense. I mean, I'll guide him, but I'm not going to direct him. And on the Concrete podcast where Richard went on, the conversation turned a little bit towards schooling and what the point of schooling is, and maybe because both Richard's sons, Jackson and Turner, which is Tifu and Juke Squad, they never went to school. His request as the father was, I'm going to homeschool them. I'm going to never take them to school. So everything that they've done has been off their own bat. They've never been to a school system. They've only ever done what his father or what their father instilled with them. And a couple of times this came up on this podcast. Did anybody see the Concrete podcast? I'm going to roll a couple of clips from it here just to sort of fill in the story where I want to develop it. But Mike Honcho, that's the one. AWF knows him. So it's like the man gets a lot of flack, but he does have some solid points about the school system in my mind. Now, I want to just roll a couple of those clips now. This is the first one where he's talking about his thoughts on why. Well, let's just roll it.
Do that, not everyone can do it. I think that the main motivation is when I went to school after the 6th grade, I never learned a thing.
Yeah.
I already was testing at a high school level, and what they do is they dumb it down.
It's
the
true.
dumbest kid in the room is taught, and you got to sit there and listen to it over and over and over.
Right.
And I think the other problem with schools is that it's all age grades. So kids that are like, when you get into high school, well, he's a freshman, I'm a junior.
Yeah.
I'm a senior and you're a lousy.
It's very true.
And what it does is it gets this system ingrained in kids that younger is worse.
Yeah.
If you're
Yep.
younger, you're not as good.
Yeah.
And
Which is so
and
wrong.
Fraternization with the younger people.
Well, that's not just in school, though, is it? I mean,
But
there's like
that's
a
where-
pecking order in a lot
That's
of.
where they learn.
Exactly.
My kids have,
Exactly.
you know, they can go out with somebody that's 25 or 18, and they don't look at it the same way that other people do.
Don't you worry about social skills? Didn't you think about like maybe like
This is
that's
a
the
good
one
point.
thing you think of when kids are homeschooled? Like they're not going to have proper social skills. They're not going to be able to interact with kids. They're not going to have to deal with bullies. They're not going to be able to be nervous to talk to a girl in the hallway. There's like all those different little things that people get when they're in a public school. Did you ever think about that?
And I got my friends all said that.
Yep.
Yeah.
What are you going to
Right.
do? And the other one was, I'll never have a job. Well, Turner's got 25 million people on social media. Jack's got 12 million. So I would assume their social skills are pretty good now.
I gotta agree with the man right there. He nailed that point. They're talking about how you're not going to be able to mold into society correctly. You're not going to have the social skills adequately prepared to deliver yourself as a growing person into a community. Well, the proof is in the pudding. Both his sons have got millions of followers on social media platforms. They're making all of their income on social media. They're building a community around themselves, which people from school that go on to do working a job for someone else don't ever do. They build the community for that boss, whereas these two people are their own bosses. I think this man speaks a lot of truth. If you agree, and I'm just going to quickly check the chat. Scotty Ventures, no idea who he is. Okay, no worries. It's spring like a pool, and the water is filtered through the rocks underground. That's the... Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Life as Mose really needs to go and have a look at this podcast. Northrop MJ with the name Rick. Yeah, not quite Rick. It's got another letter there. Adrian Banks is asking Danny Black, when are you on the Pacific Explorer again? We booked for December 14. Wow, that'd be cool. I was homeschooled all my life. This is good. This is good from Life as Mose. This is a good point. We'd like to have you... We're going to open up the call-in line too, if you want to call in a little bit later. Jack found the manatee in a spring. A spring is a pond or a river-like system, and the water is filtered through the ground, which makes it clear. Learned in school. But how did the manatee get into the spring if it's not open to the ocean? Interesting. But anyway, there's another snippet of this conversation I really want to play, and it comes in here. Let's hear what Richard has to say.
Right. Yeah, I failed
Remember
math,
how
too.
the school system is set up. Here's how it's set up. Now it's like a prison to me. They got locked areas you can't leave. They lock the doors in your room. And then someone comes in and goes through the roll call, I assume. And then most of the kids, this is what I hear from kids.
Yeah.
The kids are all on their phone
Yep,
in class. So what does it mean to go to school,
it's true.
right?
Right.
true.
No, yeah, I agree.
It's
I
a
agree.
babysitter.
Especially college.
A
Especially
babysitter.
college with how expensive it is, and
Well,
kids,
that's so people can go into debt
they can go into
and
debt.
owe money
Owe money to
to
the banks.
work. It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
It doesn't. See, 30 years ago, you were told to go to college because you needed it. Now, because the economies and the opportunities are there, you don't need it.
It's very, very,
That's why
very
the
true.
three guys I mentioned, they didn't.
He mentions three people. One of them being Steve Jobs. One of them being Elon. Another one. And he said they all dropped out of school because they created their own thing. Whereas what he just said, you go to school, you pay to go to school so that then you're in debt for the rest of your life. So then you work to pay that back. It doesn't make any sense at all. But how I want to tie this in high school, you're not allowed to have a phone out. That's not the case in our schools. Baxter and Claudia both have phones and laptops out all the time. That's part of they actually have to have them as part of their. It's like having a school bag and a school uniform. We've got to wear uniforms in Australia. They got to wear a uniform, have a bag, have a laptop, and a phone. So, but what I want to do is I want to tie it into something of my own, a little story of my own. So, in school, I hated it to start with. I hated school pretty much from year 7, grade 7, right through till, and it's going to be difficult to compare this to other parts of the world, but our school system starts in Australia. It starts off with a preschool, if you like, a kindergarten. That's before school, and then you get to the certain age and you go to basically year 1, grade 1, and then you've got grades 1 through 3, 5, all the way through to grade 10. And at the end of year 10, you can technically leave the school legally and go out into the workforce. Or you can stay on for 2 extra years, years 11 and years 12. Now, at the end of year 10, you get a certificate saying this guy or this girl passed the requirements to receive a year 10 school certificate. If you go on to these 11 and 12s, you get a better certificate. I don't understand why it's just not one or the other. Like, it should just be, that's it. But you have this opportunity to spend 2 more years of your life and get a better certificate. Now that's called the higher school certificate, or it used to be. It might have changed since I've been to school. It's been a few years. But with that higher school certificate, you can then go on to university, which I guess is kind of like the college equivalent in America. Now, all the way through from my years, so you kind of don't count year 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and even year 6 is kind of like bit of a goof, bit of a laugh. You're just a young kid growing up. But when you hit year 7, that's classed as higher school from the years 1 through to 6. So high school is where things start to really get kind of like, you need to focus your attention and you need to learn things and you need to think about who you're going to be and what you're going to do in life. In year 7, and even a little bit before, that's when I started skateboarding. I really discovered skateboarding and I focused a lot of my time into skateboarding. So much time that it consumed everything of my life. I did not want to be at school. I wanted to be skateboarding. I wanted to be learning tricks, reading skateboard magazines, but it wasn't like I was forcing that on anybody. It was just something I wanted to do. I felt like that's what I wanted, and heaven forbid, I could have been a pro skateboarder if I had have taken a different angle. That's not the point of the story. But during that time, I was also hearing a lot of things like, you got to do something with your life. You got to kind of work out what you want to do with school. You got to want to make a decision. You got to have a concept. You got to do this. You got to do that. And I was making skateboard magazines, right? So I was cutting and pasting photos we'd taken onto pieces of paper, making stories, and then formatting that into a physical magazine, and then at some point we were getting them printed or photocopied through my cousin's mother, who had access to a machine in her office where she worked. But then that fell apart, and so the onus became on me to not only create the magazine, but also duplicate the magazine and get it out into the hands of just our little skate community, mainly our friends, but we did put them in shops at some point as well. The reason I'm bringing this up is because I want to show you one of them anyway. Well, I've got a few of them here, but I'll just show you one, I guess. I'll show you two or three, whatever. This is what the magazine was called. It's called Happening Style. This is actually a physical issue, and so all of this layout and design is done by myself. Now you could argue this is pretty dubious, right? It's pretty comical. I've got a little editorial, got photos, got a news section, the graphic design, the logo, the artwork, the layout. All that was me doing that by physically. You can't see it here because I managed to do it correctly, but physically cutting out and laying it down on the page with glue, and then taking it into the library and photocopying it. Now that's where the school thing comes in. I went into the school library and photocopied these. On the library photocopier, you had to pay to use the library photocopier, which I did. I went in there and I'd run these off on the photocopy machine, laying them all out, like running off 100 pages, or not 100, 10 pages of each page, and then stapling them together and putting them in bundles. And then this one's going to go to Gav, this one's going to go to Grasler, these 4 are going to go to the Islander Classic Surf Shop, these 4 are going to go to Sheridan's in Cronulla, these 4 are going to go to wherever the other one was, Surf Dive and Ski or whatever. And the point of this is the librarian at school banned me from that library, told me off, said I cannot use the school library to make Happening Style magazine because it's outside of the school curriculum and it's not helping you with your grades. And what I'm really angry about and what I'm really sad about is that no one stood up for me in that instance. Nobody came to me and said, hang on a sec, dude, you're demonstrating graphic design. This is artwork here. You're creating desktop. You're a desktop publisher. This is what this was called back in the 90s, desktop publishing. We need to get you in, and you should be working on the school magazine. You should be in with the Macintosh. We had Apple IICs. You should be in there running off. You should be doing this as part of your career, like as part of your schooling. Like what? But not a single person said that to me, and I got banned from the library for doing this. And that's actually an original. I shouldn't drop that shit. And the point of that is that it took me years and years and years later to realize that this was something that I was not only, I mean, you can argue this is pretty dubious, but I would say this demonstration is kind of proof of concept that I kind of knew what I was doing before I'd even knew what it was I was doing. I should have been a graphic artist. It took me years and years and years to work that out myself. And eventually I did go and study graphic design. I ended up getting a job in, we were making the Yellow Pages. I got a really entry-level graphic artist job, laying out kind of like, I guess, if let's say this was an ad, my job was to lay out the text and input that into the computer, and then the graphic designer would come in and do the artwork around it. And I did that for about 6 months until I finally pushed myself into the role of the person doing the graphic design. And they said, well, to do that role, you're already working here, but to do that, you've got to go and get a qualification. So I went and got qualified as a graphic designer. I spent $9,000 of my own cash, paid it in cash. I paid it on the counter of Computer Graphics College in Sydney. I went up and went, I'm going to do the summer graphic design diploma. There's the $9,000, laid it down in front of them. And they were like, we normally get checks and direct deposits. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm paying in cash. And yeah, the point to tie this back into the school thing, should it not be the school that develops that in me, that pushes that into me, that says this is what you are good at? Now, I'm going to open this up to the chat here. I've just posted a link into the chit chat. That's the call-in line. If you want to call in and have your discussion about this, it's open to you to have that if you want to. I'm just opening up the call-in line now. I'll jump into the Discord as well. That little link is today's invite only. If you want to join the Discord server, that's where you'll do it. You'll see me in that server. And if you come in, you need obviously put headphones on and mute the stream in the background. I'm in there now. So if you want to jump in, you're welcome to, just to sort of bring extra angle. Maybe I've missed something here in this discussion. Now, I definitely have missed the chit chat. Let me see what I've missed here. Homeschool is a great thing if you can do it. Okay. Jack, okay. Adrian Banks. We had a friend who homeschooled her only son. He got chronic anxiety now and can't hold down a job. Okay, so there's definitely pros and cons for it. It's obviously not for everyone. I can hear a email notification. Quit your email client when you're live streaming, man. Jeez, did they not teach you anything at school? Okay, chronic anxiety. How did I not hear about Concrete? You've never heard of the Concrete podcast, Paula? It's pretty good. I quite enjoy that podcast. Scotty Ventures, I hated school too and dropped out in year 10. Then I went to trade school for 6 years. See, exactly. Did I go to a private or a public? That was a private school that I went to, Paula. $9,000. Yeah, actually $9,000 isn't that much money for a diploma. For real, that's actually not that bad. I remember there was a period there when I was working for this was a company called Census, and they made the Yellow Pages as part of they had a whole bunch of different projects, but one of them was the Yellow Pages. And when it came time for, what do they call it? They called it public close. Public close was the kind of like, all the ads have to be in, and there was work coming out the wazoo at that point. And I remember working 5 weeks straight, Saturday and Sunday. On Sunday, I was on double time, obviously, for the whole day. And I recall I was getting, would have been close to 45 an hour on Sundays, I think. And I did 5 weeks straight, saved up my $9,000 literally in those 5 weeks, and went, there's my pay for the diploma, get qualified. Tim used to do the same for a sporting club at Swinburne University in the days of word processors. That's what it was, word processing, and literally cutting out pictures to paste onto pages with script and photocopy. Yeah, that is exactly how these were made. Should we pull them up again? I'll grab one at random. I'm 14 in 9th grade, and you have to be 18 or you will be able to drop out of school. So kids on the earlier side like me and basically have to finish school, but only if your parent makes you, right? Like, because obviously you don't have to attend school. Jackson and Turner are a testament to that. It said the comment was too long. That's what she said. I can hear it in your accent. Was that at me? Yeah. I'm not sure if that was at me. This issue 7, February, March 1992. You want to have a read of the editorial that I wrote in 1992? Greetings to this, the year of 1992. I don't want to rave about New Year celebrations, Christmas, etc., but to say that as a new year is new, so is this and the forthcoming issues of Happening Style. New. New meaning new headlines, new designs, new formats, and new styles. As the zine continues to grow, we mustn't forget what it was originally designed for. We aim to provide good skate info from local area and around, from our local area. Whether they be skaters or non-skaters that come across this mag and wonder who is Stoinker, what is a Grazler, and what is Umnus, we have to understand that this is only a local zine with no intention for a wider distribution. We have no worry that some masses won't comprehend the mission within the zine, as it will continue to thrive without them anyway. That's funny. Let's just catch up there. I'm here, MewChip's in the house. G'day, Scotty. How you going, buddy? But not for long. No worries, man. We're just kind of wrapping this stream up. I've opened up the chat line, but no one's calling in. That's cool. We're here to talk about schooling, and another story I've got about school, which I could probably retell. I remember in that, after those 10 years of school, right, you can then go on to year 11 and year 12, and it's at that point, no, it's earlier than that you have to make electives. I recall I went to a mixed school, co-ed, male and female, and at that point when you could choose the elective subjects, one of them was obviously there was woodwork and metalwork, and then there was home science, which is just a fancy way of saying cooking, right? So I remember all the dudes in my year, there were two, and schools in Australia, well, my school was smaller, so my year was 30 pupils, but there were two sets of year 10s, year 9s, year 8s. So there were 60 kids in year 10, right? in total, split up into 2 classes. And approximately, it was kind of half-half, I'd say. Like maybe there was slightly more male than female, but generally it was kind of almost split down the middle. And I recall when the idea of what you're going to choose elective came up, it was like, I was just like, you know, like I was a skateboarder and I was younger, and I was like, I don't have anything in common with any of the dudes here in my year, because they think I'm a weirdo because I skateboard and listen to weird music. The girls are pretty cute though. There's some cute girls in this year. I'm like, okay, well, they're all going to go and do home economics, aren't they? Home science. I'm going to go and learn cooking just because there's girls in the year. So I signed up for home science and didn't do woodwork or metalwork. And I was in a class full of girls, and I was the one having a good time there because I was the only male with all women. Sorry, there was one other dude that came in later somehow. He swapped out of woodwork and came into home science. So there was me and him. And I remember that because it was like, you know, I don't really take this too seriously, but I'm not going to spend these elective subjects and this time of my schooling with a bunch of dudes that I don't really like anyway. Of course I'm going to go and hang out with the women. It's a no-brainer. And yet I got mocked for that. Like, I was the smart one. That was the smart thing to do. Private school accent. Oh, you think I've got a private school accent, Paula? Okay, I don't know about that. I'd argue that. But I guess you're hearing an Aussie accent, and I'm also conscious about I'm hitting the hard syllables to make it more global. And I understand, like my accent has changed slightly over the years, mainly from starting YouTube and from touring with Tracer as well. I try to be more clear with my accent just so it falls into everyone's lap easier. YouTube says, I should have left school in year 10 to do a chippy apprenticeship. Now, do you want to translate that to our Northern Hemisphere audience? A chippy apprenticeship. I failed cooking. So that's the thing. I went on to actually do cooking. Like I worked as I don't like using the word chef because I never qualified as a chef, but I went on to do cooking for years. I traveled the world on the back of cooking, and met plenty of women as well. So the whole thing kind of ties in together, doesn't it? G'day Beyond Beauty. Welcome to the chat. Travel Jet Setter says he failed French. Well, that's all right. French is a strange language. Oui. Tim says, Mewtube found a hidden safe in an abando being demolished. Handed it to Vicpol. Should know soon if its contents will be mine. Tim, that's pretty cool, man. Wow. Huh. You found a hidden safe. There could be anything in there, dude. That's amazing. Let's wait and see Jay Boston do a live stream about it and cash in on it. If that comes out that there's like thousands and thousands of dollars in there and like stuff that you can have, I guarantee Jay will try to reap those rewards somehow by making a secondary video about it. But that's huge news, Tim. Adrian Banks, are you a trade chef, Benon? Well, I always said a chef has papers and a snooty attitude, and a cook has no papers and just goes in there and does the same thing a chef does. That's what I've always done. That's huge news, Tim. How big was the safe? That's really cool. Got a picture of it? Can I reap those rewards somehow? So YouTube's translating chippy apprenticeship. That's carpenter's apprenticeship. I knew what that was, but no one else might have known what that was. Pretty funny. 100% Australian private school accent. Okay. Well, I'll take it. I'll take that, Paula. Thank you. Dankeschön. Bitteschön. Quick question. How much is a wetsuit like yours? Artisan wetsuits, they're a little pricier, but there is a 5% discount using my coupon code in the links of all of my Wave a Day projects for this season and the last season, since I've been sponsored by Artisan. They're around about the 260 mark. Let me just have a look for you. Artisan wetsuits. Let's go in here. Artisan wetsuits. But they're really, really, really good wetsuits. I got so much time for these wetsuits. Look at the stretch on that, dude. If you can stretch a wetsuit that far, I mean, look at that. That's what that's 3 stories stretched. YouTube says, I think it's a New South Wales accent. Yeah, I don't know. I know I've got an accent, obviously. The price. Let's go see the price. Shop. It's way more proper than Victorians. And then you go to Adelaide and they're like, they speak even more properly. So I've got a 3-2. If anyone doesn't know what a 3-2 wetsuit is, I've got a full length steamer, so it's to the edge of the arm and to the edge of the ankle. But 3-2 means the body of the wetsuit is 3 mil thick and the arms and leg are 2 mil thick. That's what 3-2 means. Let's have a look. Short sleeve steamers. No, I've got a full length steamers. Local rumor says occupants were very shady but died in jail years ago. No family associates missing or killed off. Dude, let us know. Hey, Release the Lens. How you going, Release the Lens? Good to see you, man. This is a quick cheers for you, dude. Welcome back to the Chit Chats. Here's the pricing for a 3-2. 3-2 sealed steamer. That's what I've got, but I've got it in army grey. $229 is the cost in Australian dollars. What part of the world are you in? In Aussie dollars. Okay, there you go. $229 will get you a 3-2 sealed full-length steamer from Arzen. If you do it through my link, you'll get 5% off that as well. There you go. That's the cost of the Arzen wetsuits, and you are gonna damn well love them, dude. Absolutely. The way we say angle is very different. I say angel. Now that's angle, isn't it? Angel. Stephen, how far away from the snowfields? You should do a road trip next year. Dude, I would love to do that. I should do that. I've probably left it too late this year. But how far from here is Thredbo and Perisher? Probably about 4 hours drive, maybe 4.5 hours. I'm in US dollars, I'll check. No worries. Hey, Jamie Walker, welcome to the chat. I can hear my outro bass line rolling. What a fantastic stream. I gotta go back to school. I don't know what you're doing, but I'll see you tomorrow, same time on the Gives a Minute YouTube stream. Woo! Nice beard. Oh, that's we're out of time.